All right, GM, give me just a second, guys. Gonna tweet this out here in a second and get this rolling. If you guys would like to join on stage, feel free to hit that request button, and I will bring you guys up here with me. Give me just a minute. All right, finally have everything set up. So give me just a second. Let me bring you guys up here now. Pick God, welcome to the stage. We got Rooster as well, who I sent I've got to either it's weird. It shows that he's requested. You might have to leave and come back, Rooster, to come up on stage. But yeah, Pickcod, what is going on, my man? Welcome back for the 101st consecutive episode of Wonky Weekly Alpha. We are in here. The NFT market has had a fun past few weeks. Stonks have had a fun past couple of weeks. Last week we celebrated week 100. It was a great time having a bunch of the gang back together. Yeah, man. So, I feel like right now we're in a place where market is kind of cooled off just a little bit from where it was. I don't want to say necessarily cooled off, but a bunch of the explosive growth we saw across a ton of projects last week have kind of been accumulating in that range they went to. But still, a lot of fun things going on right now. Yeah, what have you guys been up to this week?
Not too much, man. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I can
Kind of just getting into these puppets, man, this last week. So that's actually been pretty fun. Other than that, man, just work. Like you said, the market cooled off a little bit, but hoping we hold here, maybe get a little bit higher. But same plan as usual. No stress, just stacking, enjoying, relaxing, feeling comfy.
Well, I should say the market cooled off a bit, but at the same time, it wasn't just NFTs. It was the market across the board the past few weeks, right? And today we're finally getting a breath of life injected back into it. I swear, man, when I wake up and see those green candles, it does give me just this jolt of adrenaline straight into the veins.
Yeah,
But
it looked like alts had some nice bounces this morning, which was nice to see. Yeah.
yes, sir. We might just not be going to zero. Crow, what is going on, man? Welcome up.
What's up, brother, man? I'm in a soul shitter right now. Just opened it up. My palms are a little sweaty. Knees weak. Mom's spaghetti.
So I want to hear though, what is your alpha for entering these? Is it B-Ways?
I'm just making this shit up as I go along. I have no alpha to give anybody.
That's the fucking way to do it right there. That's the highest RR is throwing darts at the board and maybe one sticks.
I'm up like 3x right now. If I can do it, any of y'all can do it. I promise you that.
Yo, Crow, if you're up 3x right now, just do me a favor, right? Because this is just too common of occurrence in my life.
Before you go on, I already took out my initial and a little profit. All right.
I was gonna say, yeah, just do that, bro. Like, you've then got at least half the position to still ride up, still making good profit. Yeah, just do that for me, and we can continue on with this
I did.
conversation. I can have a clear conscience.
So I'm thinking like, so I put in like only put in like 0.2 soul number one, or maybe a quarter. I got in about 10K. At 50K,
Okay.
I took out a third, so I'm like 50% in profit right there. So I'm watching it. If it hits 100K, I'm gonna take out between 33 and 50%, and then just let the rest ride. See what happens from there.
Man, this is exactly why I stopped trading Solana shitters like 2 weeks ago, dude. Is because of that exact trade pattern. Like flipping 0.2 Solana into like one Solana or whatever, right? And then people will just completely G, even if it's a good meme. Like they'll just fight. They'll say, "Fuck it, dude! I got my 3x on my 0.2 Sol, which is just equivalent to one Ethereum gas fee," and then they'll just G'd it off a cliff, right? So I mean, congrats, Crow. On profits. Always happy for everybody making profits. It's exactly the reason I stopped trading. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do like the $5 trades, like just flooding the feed and sell pressure anymore. Like people on Solana have no conviction into some decent memes, and like you couldn't do that on ETH, right? If you're hopping in a shitter, you got to have a little bit of conviction because you're going to be paying $40 in gas, right? And if you're only hopping in with $100, that's 40% of your position right there, and then another whenever you sell it, right? So it's a way different game, and yeah, that's my little morning rant to start us off.
I mean, that's why nobody's going to be doing it on ETH this cycle because it's so expensive. I mean, you can get
No, we're just not
you can
trading
take 50
10K
bucks.
market cap to 100K market cap shitters on ETH.
That's a
That's the
10x,
thing.
bro.
Like the bug is a feature.
Let's fade a 10x. Like, what do you mean?
Sure, yes, let's fade a 10x on 0.1 Solana. Like
That equals one Solana, and then you can get like 20 dicks with that, and then the dicks go up like 10x. Then you're looking at 100x, dude. Like, you got to zoom out a little bit.
I mean, this may be a controversial opinion, but especially if B Ways was up on stage, but he'd only argue with me, I think, on half of it. I still think the number one collections this cycle are going. I still think ETH is going to be number one across all NFT chains. I think Bitcoin will be a close two. And honestly, I think there will be a time where they go back and forth a little bit. Like, I think they're going to be neck and neck. I actually think ordinals have that much potential where they, like, it's going to be the reverse of the flippening, where ordinals are going to claim a huge share of a huge portion of ETH's market share. But I don't think they'll fully flip. I'm not in that camp. But I do think that it's going to be incredibly competitive. And not to say that, like, Solana won't be competitive. That, heck, even AVAX and, Say, and you can go down the list of some of these others won't be competitive. I just think that, like, regardless of the narrative that CT wants to paint, for a lot of the reasons that Rooster just said, the bug is a feature when it comes to ETH. Like, you were paying a premium, and it's almost when you're talking about art and other stuff as well, like, there's something to be said for those top collections where people are like, you know what, I don't mind paying a little bit of a gas fee for something like this if it means a little bit more security, a little bit more provenance. Like, just you can go down the list. I just think that when you hear that a collection's on ETH, I mean, a lot of people right now, again, they'll laugh at it because the ETH collections haven't been moving quite as much. But I do just think, for me, there's something that resonates with the fact that, like, ETH is just it's the OG chain.
okay, I have to. I'll also play the B-Ways won't agree with probably mostly what I'm saying part because I didn't agree with half of what you were saying. What collection is going to flip punks? Again, I mean, Apes did it once. That's the argument. If Apes did it once, it could happen again. But
I'm
I
talking
mean,
about
I'm
volume.
talking on ordinals. half the rare sats are already sold at this point. Like that like that's what people are giving. Oh,
Doesn't mean they can't be
this
sold
this
again,
sat was in
Rooster.
Satoshi's
Like,
wallet in 2010. The fuck?
dude, here's the deal. Like, I'm not gonna fade ordinals at this point. Ordinals, it's on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the largest cultish community out there. Like, ordinals are going to do incredibly well. It's that simple.
Sure. I'm not saying there is up from here.
Will they flip punks? I don't think so. Like, will there be any collection that flips punks and stays above it? No, I don't think so. I agree with you. I'm just talking about the total market volume of ordinals as a whole. I think will approach, and at certain points, flip back and forth between it and ETH.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I will not fade ordinals completely either. I still am yet to own one. 100% full disclosure. Not because I'm purposely fading it, just because it recently just has not been high up on my priority list. Like my most recent dive was into SEI, and so I played around in their protocols for a little while. Grabbed one of the Saiyan NFTs. Ordinals is still on the list because I am not one to completely fade anything 100%. I'm just like, yes, there will be some collections that do crazy numbers, but when you're comparing just the sheer amount of like higher end collections that are OG collections that are already on ETH, like there is a lot, and I mean a lot of closing the gap to do, assuming ETH stays stagnant, right?
You should probably have this conversation with B on stage about ordinals versus ETH versus Sol. You know what I mean? But as far as the shitcoins, like it's gonna happen on Sol. Just think about the market that it opens up. Like $50 in gas, $100 in gas. Like when the things start heating up, like that prices out so much of the world's population.
Yeah, but that's whales are not trying to trade against people. $10,000 $5 traders. That's the thing. Where there's going to be big money to like actually support memes and like continue, or for them to continue to run, are going to be for the most part on ETH. I mean, Solana has had its season recently, but if history has said anything, the big money is still on Ethereum. There's a lot of ETH meme coin whales that still refuse to come over to Solana. Everything's going to have its season. Everything's going to grow like 10x and some 100x and some 1000x, right? You will be able to find your profits in any niches. Just me personally, I am not trying to trade against the $5 traders either, because it creates wrinkles and gray hairs, and I'm too young to start getting those.
I don't know. What do you think? Right, like right now, Pepe or dog with hat? With
Rooster, you may be too young to be getting the gray hairs, but you sound like the biggest boomer on this stage.
No, it's just like, yeah, you never go full retard, man. Like you gotta keep like a portion of you sane, because once you go full retard, like,
There's something to be said with the bell curve meme, right? You either go full retard and you get lucky and you work your way to the top and you're just in this incredible position because of it, or you are just full savant and you work your way to the top. Like, there's not really, the in between is
no,
just
there is a whole curve between full retard and like mid curving. Like there is a line in between them, and like you can place yourself somewhere early on the curve without being starting at the 40 IQ. Like you can like start at 420 at least, dude. Like 42.0, or maybe even 69 IQ. I feel like that would be more of a sweet spot there, but not at the 40 level.
all right. Well, if you had $100 right now, like what are you doing? You put it in Pepe, and spend half in
Dude,
gas, and you
if I
get
had
dog with hat.
$100, I'm not putting it into crypto like that.
No,
Like
hundred
if I had
dollars a
$100,
gamble. $100 a
I'm
gamble
probably
in
buying
crypto.
gas for my
You just want
actual
to put
car.
100 in. You want to get a little action. You go to Solana right now. Like that's what's happening.
No,
Speaking of
I
Solana, I'm
love
already
your
down
soul exploits,
500
bro.
million on the morning, so that started great. I mean, most of us are.
And pick God, I'm happy for you, branching out, trying the ordinals. Like, again, I think it's something that's worth, like, any trend like this, there are people that are going to be resistant to entering into it. One, I think, it takes a little bit to actually go learn whatever you have to do to be able to set up the wallet, go to a different exchange, go through the different process of, the storage, etc. But it's important to do at this point of the cycle, right? Like, if you were bullish on the next couple of years post halving and you're bullish on NFTs in general, now's the time to go and dick around on like all of these different chains. Try out a little bit here, try out a little bit there, because I guarantee you there'll be a point. You brought up, Rooster, how you've tried Say, right? Like, you've gone over there. I bet Say is going to have a season. You're going to have different seasons across these different chains. And it's going to be more difficult, I think, to capitalize and really keep your finger on the pulse on each one of them as they happen, because I think we're going to be at a point where it's a lot bigger than last cycle. There's going to be a lot more happening in general. But the one thing I'll say is having that experience under your belt right now is going to put you in that position to be able to capitalize more efficiently, more effectively, whenever it is happening.
Yeah, Clay, I'm gonna just add some of my input here. Like, been in BTC for a while, and I kind of honestly view it as like my savings account. Just stack it, store it, don't touch it. I have very long-term conviction in it, obviously. So like watching ordinals kind of like over the last 6 months, like BTC for me is like extremely hard to be like, yeah, it's okay to buy a JPEG, with this precious asset that I've been hoarding here for the last few years, right? And like obviously we all follow B-Ways, and I was watching him talk about like ordinal maxi biz for a while, and like I was very close to buying a couple a while back around like 0.13 to 1.5 BTC, and I like loaded up the wallet, was like ready to buy, and I like just couldn't pull the trigger. I'm like, dude, fuck, I cannot spend like a third of a BTC here on 2 JPEGs. Those things did pretty well. I think they're hanging around like 0.5 BTC now. So when I was in the Dominican to start the year, like I kind of saw the puppets pop up on my timeline when I was like coming back. And like the first thing I did getting off the plane, I was like, fuck it, man, I gotta just try, pick up some of these ordinals and see how it goes. And I picked up two, just kind of like watched them for a day and just ended up selling them for a quick profit. And then I was like, I'll just keep an eye on this because these guys seem like absolutely insane. I think it's honestly one of the most unfuddable projects I've seen in NFTs, honestly. Like, these guys just give zero shits. They just post in the chat all day, like, send it to zero, which I think is awesome. So then, like, over the last couple of days, I was like, fuck it, it's probably not a bad idea to pick some of these up more again and just actually see where it goes here for a little bit.
All right, I'm going to take a quick pause. I want to go over. We've got a new person up on stage. They are a tuppy cat. So I want to welcome up Trapcoin. And, like, I usually go through the bio of somebody new that's on stage, that's requested to speak, kind of hyping them up a little bit. But we're going to just keep it simple here, adjusting the game. Trapcoin, welcome up. How's it going?
Yo, what's up? Can everybody hear me? Cool. So, yeah, man, I just been in the trenches, in the trap, as you would say, um, just trying to find, I guess, what I think is the next wave. So I recently got into Bozo Hybrid. It's all over my feed. I'm not much of a shiller. My account is really small, so you can take that however you want. But pretty much it's an NFT hybrid project that's combined with like a meme. So that pretty much means that it's almost like an OTC Bitcoin trade if you want to get in the coin or the NFT. So there's no slippage between the NFT in the coin price, which is really interesting. So Parabolic or Caesar, he's the guy who kind of is behind the project. And it was a free mint. It wasn't any like VC kind of situation. So I saw you guys were talking about NFTs. Thought I should just come up here and just kind of just give my 2 cents about it because I think that is something I haven't seen before. I've been around since like 2017. So yeah, man. Love what you guys are doing. Big fan. Just wanted to kind of put my information, just put a little bug in everybody's ear because it might be. I think it's going to be something to watch. The inscription hybrid kind of thing. I think that might be like a narrative that's upcoming. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Appreciate it.
No, I haven't kept track of that one, man. But I will say this: the one thing I don't mind about the one thing I actually appreciate about bringing some smaller accounts up and letting them talk is like what you just said is spot on, right? Your circle is completely different than mine. My feed, as much as I try to, sprinkle in and follow some smaller accounts and, especially the ones that are connected with the stonks, it still is difficult to really get a feel for what's happening on the ground level because a lot of the times when you only follow larger accounts that have grown with you over the years, you're not really getting the full perspective of what's happening on the ground level because you can only talk about so much as a larger account, right? A lot of it's just high level stuff. So I do think it's important to be able to get a healthy balance of both of those to be able to get exposure. I'm not going to speak one thing toward the other with whatever that project is. I won't lie, half the stuff you said sound extremely Ponzi-nomic-esque where
For
if
sure.
something is perfectly backed 1-to-1, it's never actually perfectly backed 1-to-1. Something's going to collapse in that and it'll probably end up at zero. But the real question is, before that happens, how high can it go?
Nah,
So
facts.
Steady,
best of luck
lads.
with it.
Steady.
Best of luck with it, man.
Hey, I appreciate the love, man.
The real question is, do you have any stonks?
Not, I think I have like some Tesla or something lying around, but like, that's about it. If you
Do you
mean like
have
stuff.
any wonky stonks? So,
No, so you gotta pill me because I'm not familiar.
all right, bro. That is the project. That is the space that we're on right now. So, no, I love red pilling people into it, right? Obviously, we're here BSing about everything happening in the NFT market, but like I like to show love to everything that's happening as far as trends. But the project is Wonky Stonks. It was a free mint that I did back in October 2021 with my buddy Hondo, who is in the audience right now. So it is all generative art, right? And the charts are the art. So it's not like, looking at charts and we took snippets of what was happening across different markets where it's like, oh, that was BTC at whatever date, or oh, that was Tesla. Like these are just completely generative price action where it was all randomly, imagine like flipping a coin 1,000 times and you've got different degrees of variability as far as when the coin flips how much it can go up or down, right? So do it a million times and boom, you get this randomly generated price action. And the crazy part about the randomly generated price action is you can look through a bunch of the different charts that were generated from it and they look, you see like real structure in it that you would see in a real chart, right? A lot of the time, like it's easy to go through and find charts that reflect something that is actually happening out there. And I think that's one of the things for why it resonates so much with me and why I believe in the art side of it. Because, when I look at a chart with my background in trading and everything else, it does evoke just this visceral reaction where it's like, I have had it's like walking in and smelling some type of scent that takes you back to a certain point in time. For me, it's the exact same thing with looking through a bunch of the different pieces in the collection. So there's a lot more to it as far as the depth of the different traits and everything else. I think it was one of the first projects, again, that dropped where it was no roadmap, no utility, just art. And that's where it is today. So, it's been around for a little over 2 years now, dropped October 19th, 2021. And we have just slowly been, building since.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out. I love NFTs. I love the art world. So yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, man. Yeah, and I should have pinned that up there. I need to go through and find that I wrote the other night. Um, because I wrote a little bit more about the background of it as well. One night late when I couldn't sleep and I was just um, going through some thoughts, and I've got a giveaway today actually. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to have Rooster lead the discussion here for a minute because I've got to actually give away like 2 songs from last week at the same time as giving away the winner to this week's giveaway. So yeah, I like to give away stonks, and all the stonks I own, by the way, Trap Coin, I have purchased myself. I didn't give myself any allocation, anything like that. These are all just from my wallet that I've stacked over the years.
I can agree to that. He does like to give away stonks. Actually, I do have a question for people up on the stage. Python probably might be the only one with input here, but I've been offered one Arbitrum alien panda plus one floor panda for my PFP panda. And my initial reaction was decline. What are your thoughts on that?
An Arbitrum panda for a Sol panda. They're the same class, but you get an extra. You get a floor panda along with it.
Yeah, so they're essentially offering a floor panda for the brand I premium. Now the reason I decline is because probably one of the most sought after traits, the X eyes, the brand eyes, and it's one of two aliens. So my
I
initial
think
reaction was it's too low.
I think I think you may have made the right choice. I would probably try to negotiate for a second floor panda. At that
Yeah,
point, I would say it's a
that's what
fair.
I said. I agree. That's what I said. I was like, I said my price would be, an alien plus two floors, and they said out of reach for them at the moment.
Hmm.
Which and I'm not in a rush by any means to get rid of this panda at all. I've never, just my office is always open, pretty much to anything except for this red guppy and the stonk that I have a printout of. Other than that, like my office is always open. I'll entertain anything.
Yeah, the reason the reason I think like having a second floor would be ideal, aside from the fact that you've got the brand panda, right? The two XIs. Um, Solana pandas currently there's no way to bridge back and forth. So it's almost like prison economics over there, right? You're stuck on an island and either it's gonna really run up or it's gonna really run down. And it's pandas. It's gonna run up, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but it's once that bridge is in place, then you've got a supply. You've got supply coming in from the EVM chains that's going to balance everything out and kind of remove that economic model. But for now, if you want a panda on Solana, the only place to get it is on Solana. You cannot go buy a EVM panda and bridge it over yet. Eventually, you will be able to, but not yet. In that time, that there's a lot of diamond hands on Solana as well. when it comes to pandas. So I think have a suspicion that they will run at a premium prior to that bridge being open. So might as well capitalize on that premium while you can. You know, you've got if you're getting offered EVM chain pandas, take some of that premium.
Yeah, I hear you. It seems to be the consensus, though. People, a lot of OGs like to try and value Soul Pandas less than Ethereum Pandas. Even though at a point in time, I think Soul Pandas traded like $2,000 USD higher. I ended up selling a floor for like 100 Soul. Granted, it was like 25 Soul above the floor.
Nice.
But that was a good flip. Yeah, but so that's been my most recent development is that offer had entered my DMs and from one of the OGs, and it's entertaining. I just I'm not in a rush to get it off my hands at all.
What rank is your alien on like compared to all the other aliens?
It's in the higher realm. It gets like 3750 points a day, so
Nice.
yeah, in the higher realms. But yeah, also, uh, thanks again for fixing the contract that excluded my wallet from the allocation. You're a true legend for that, homie.
Oh, that was a Google Sheet issue, but no worries, man.
Yeah, Google Sheet. Yeah.
Wait, did he end up sending you any?
Yeah, it was like freaking, Ethereum L2s, right? Still have to pay gas fees. It was like a, I don't know, stuck transaction or Google Sheet issue or something like that. But yeah, all of a sudden, it finally came. Shouts out to Python.
Okay, so you got your no chill from him. Good. Love to hear it. I did pin that up for y'all's conversation as I'm going through and sending out these songs. I don't have my laptop with me. I'm actually like the house I'm in right now is basically completely empty outside of the stuff in the kitchen that I need to pack up and the Wi-Fi router. So, yeah, like I also have one foldable chair that I'm here with right now.
Yeah, we can tell. At least on my end, I can hear an echo. So it's either you're in an empty house or you're inside a bathroom.
Oh
So
no,
I'm
it
glad
is
to
a
hear it's at pretty
completely
close.
empty house.
He's pooping.
But I kid you not, the other day at Bible study, I have this guy that he's been asking for a little bit. What are some recommendations for what I have? And I hate answering this question for people as far as any type of coins. I just tell people, hey, buy Bitcoin ETH right now, you'll be happy, right? But he said he's got a high risk tolerance. He wants to be a little bit degenerate. I shilled him a panda. And he told me he's buying a panda this week. He has not confirmed it with me yet. I also gave him a Wonky Stonk. So, yeah, we will see whether or not it actually happens.
Dude, he's gonna need like cases of holy water if this Bible study friend of yours is joining the panda community.
We're not every single person that is in a Bible study rooster is 12 years old and never left the church before in their entire life. Contrary to popular opinion, there is an outside world, in the world, but not of it.
Yeah, tell me you haven't hopped in the chat without telling me you haven't hopped in the chat. It gets far out left field, dude. Far out.
You can also own a panda without getting into the panda Discord. It's possible.
Hey, have you and said been in contact about your? I know you're entertaining the idea of updating your honorary.
Oh, I had to contact him. I mean, he told me that he was going to do it for me. I didn't know that I had to like reach out and DM him.
No,
I
I
don't
mean, I don't
know.
think you have to. Like, you can definitely leave it up to artist discretion. But I know with some people, like some of the 101s, I think like Trader SZ and stuff. Um, they like kind of told them some things that they wanted in it, and just to make it a little more custom. But yeah, I mean, if you want to leave it up 100% to artist discretion, that's.
See, here's one of the things I still don't get, and this is maybe me being a boomer again with the whole thing where I'm not the biggest proponent of changing traits, etc. Like I believe once it's there, and like the OG-ness of it not being changed adds something to the value, right? That's me. So like I love the OG panda that I have for my honorary, and I always have. Like, especially when I shared it back in the day, everybody would comment and be like, "That is the most badass panda in the entire collection," right? Like, I love it. And then I shared
It
it.
was, and now it's like one of the worst.
I shared a couple days ago, and everybody's like, "This thing needs to be updated right now." So I look at that and I'm like, what does it say? What are you literally saying about your collection that it has to continually be updated for
No,
it to
okay,
be
this
relevant, for
this
it to have any type of, meaning or significance?
No, you got it all wrong. Let me tell you exactly how the community's saying it, right? Okay, so the original pandas, whenever they, first spawned, Bags' position, they asked him, they're like, hey, can you help us do the honoraries? He essentially just grabbed a list of people, and then their original artist created all the OG art. So what you're saying, in their opinion, is you actually don't like the current team's art, that you liked the previous rug team way better than what has been put together since Bags took over the project and brought on Sad as an artist, and have put in all this work. You say it's for nothing.
No, I don't say it's for nothing. I almost say it's paying homage to the journey that it's been on.
You're saying
Right?
you like the rugged art more than the official team art.
I'm saying it's kind of a little bit weird that the official team art isn't the original art. Like
That's
that's
because it was
weird
an
to me.
acquired project that didn't have the best art to begin with. It looks way better now.
Yeah, they look more like Care Bears now.
I don't know. I mean, I am open to the idea. If it's what the people want, I'm a man of the people. I am all for it. I'm sure Sed is going to kill it. I'm sure it's going to look incredible. I'm just letting you know my thought process for where I've been as far as not really being in a rush to have it changed was, yeah, just the idea that that's just, again, when I look at NFTs, I think there's something to be said for the fact that it's like, hey, it's there. It is what it is, and it's not going to be anything different. But I guess what I have been fading is that there are different types of collections with different points. It's like having different types of chains in general, where each one has different types of consensus mechanisms. You don't necessarily need to fade it because it's different, right? Like, so lean into the strength, and a strength of the pandas is the fact that you can update them, right? Like, that's what the community values. So I should lean in.
And if I've got a super secret tip. If you're really in love with this art and you're worried that the new art is not going to meet your standards, or it's not going to be as popping as the existing one is, you can take your mouse and hover over the image and right click it and save it to your desktop, or save it anywhere where you know that you can reference it later. That way, whenever the updated art comes out, if you don't like it, you can just look at the JPEG instead of the NFT.
Would you mind writing a tutorial on how I can do that? Just
I'll
putting
do
that in
you one
text.
better. I'll do you one better. I'll make a YouTube video for you.
That would
Kaleo,
be
what I can do
incredible.
for you is I can animate your current honorary. I can animate that panda for you, and then we'll also get you the updated one.
And do I just need to send that panda over to you to have that happen?
Not even. There's just like a setting. It's something about like a seed phrase. I just need that code to be able to make it animatable, and we're good there. But no, but for real, like if you were to list this near the floor, it probably would not sell like for hours because people would be like, "Wait, what the fuck kind of ugly ass floor panda is that?" You see, I pinned it to the top. What are those red or not red? I'm colorblind apparently. Orange things in the cheek area that go like through the eyes.
Well, dude,
Uh,
if we're being completely honest, and don't get me wrong, I love bags, right? The art gets better with the price. When the pandas first dropped, everybody in the entire timeline shit on the pandas, right? And there was a reason some of that original art especially kind of sucked, right? For the collection, this was a really badass panda. Like via what was out there at the time, right? When I compared this to whatever else was out there, I'm like, man, this guy's kind of tough. Um, but there really
yes,
wasn't a
yeah,
hell of a lot
no,
to be said.
you're 100% right, and that was one of the main driving factors of needing the art updatable and changeable is because the Rug team did a shit job. It was horrible. The art is horrible. New art, way better. Changeable art, good. They actually just announced today they're turning all like new traits that are not OG traits into NFTs and launching a marketplace for that within like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So that's pretty cool too.
Finally, I can dump all these hoarded froggy traits. I minted like 20 of those pink backgrounds. It was awesome.
Yeah, I sold the Solana rug balloon, the balloons or whatever the fuck that project was, for 0.36 Ethereum. I sold that trait for, and some apparently this past week have gone for 0.5. So like, not only is it can you customize your own NFT and you're not stuck with something that looks awful, but there's a whole ecosystem being built and profits to be made.
All right, man. Well, you just wait. I will talk to Hondo, and we'll come out with a trait pack for spicing up your Wonky Stonks. Probably going to drop some hoodies on there, maybe some 3D glasses. Might even get crazy with it. Throw a few afros, maybe a Spartan helmet, maybe a sword, whatever. We'll spice up the collection.
See, I know that is completely filled with sarcasm, and I wouldn't add traits to stonks. See, it's a different thing. But what I would do is burn two of these god awful like classic floor ones that I have, or the water. I saw someone loving on watermelons a little bit ago, a couple days ago, and full support to you for everybody has their taste. But I also don't like the watermelon ones. I would be burning, incinerating two of those just to watch it be run through the generator again. I don't even care if I got another floor. I don't care if I got an even more watermelony watermelon stonk. Just the process of being able to watch it burn and then generate something new. I would 100% probably do that with like 25% of my stonks.
You know what? I see where you're coming from, and I mean the generator works, right? Like obviously, all the code is there; it's still there. Um,
And even it wouldn't even go back into the stonks. That could be a whole. They could be stonky wonks for all I care. It could be an unofficial secondary collection, and all I really done is burn stonks and make it deflationary. I could care less. I just kind of want to see it be generated in person and gamble 2 for 1. Maybe you get a guppy.
Well, yeah,
Maybe you get a
what I was
9.
gonna say,
Maybe
like
you get a floor.
the issue that I see with doing it, like one of the bigger issues is from a holder perspective, right? Say that you have the number one stonk in the collection, right? Your King Degen, you aped in on the number one stonk. What happens, again, like how would you feel when you purchased this? If you were like, this is the rarest thing, it is what it is, like it's set in stone, and then all of a sudden you open the door for, oh, shoot. Now you're adding X to the collection, and somehow the dice just rolled like
Okay, so
perfectly to
one,
whoever gambled on it. And I get the upside for whoever's gambling. It's like, oh, you might get that upside, but then for the person that's actually holding the other, it's so that, like I don't know.
I
That's
I I I,
what I
I have
struggle with.
many counterpoints. One, if it's a secondary collection, then the number one stonk for one would just remain the number one stonk. Yeah, you might mint the number one on the stonky wonks, or whatever you want to call it, V2, uh, or what is it, editions versus how whatever Jack Butcher does. I don't know. But regardless, if it's a secondary collection, you would just be minting a new number one and not replacing the current number one. Second, if it was in the same collection and you did uh, replace King Degen's number one stonk, then at that point, maybe you should have some floors to try and work harder to get the number one again. Sounds like you just got outgrinded, in my opinion.
Yeah, I also like when I go to the Apple Store and purchase an iPhone and open the box and get a Nokia.
I'm not even saying I'm in favor of this, but what if you kept all the traits the same and you just changed it from a classic to a wonky theme?
No, that's
I mean,
you.
again, like
You
there's a
have to be able to regret your decision to make it pivotal and to make it something worth doing, right? Like if you burn 2 of them and you just get 1 floor, you have to feel that pain inside for it to be like a usable product in the ecosystem. You have to be able. It can't just be up only. This isn't karate combat, gambling.
We could take I like those economics, but I think we should take a pointer from Elon, and maybe it should be burn 1 and you get 2 back, but you never actually get the 2 back.
I can't tell how many Elons and Prince of Nigerias that I have sent 1 bitcoins to over the years and never got my 2 back, but it seems to be a ravaging issue out there.
dude. Whenever they do, though, you are going to be loaded.
Dude, I was sending 1 bitcoins back when bitcoins were $700. No, I'm kidding. I was not. I didn't. I've only spent my bitcoins on DHgate and CS:GO skins at the time, gambling those, and lots of online casinos and Bitcoin Crash and uh, rough wallet to look at, which I never do anymore because it's been pure pain for years.
Did you buy those skins on that one marketplace, that amazing one? I think it was called Silk Road.
I've bought some things on Silk Road. I don't know about CS:GO skins. I might have had some stickers come in some packages though.
Oh, and welcome back to the stage. How's it going, man?
Hello? Is this C-SPAN? What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing well. I really was expecting you to do the intro song.
What?
I thought you said you'd do it on a daily basis, ready to go. So I'm a little bit disappointed right now.
Yeah, I
Like
thought
we're
next
trying to
time
do
he was coming
best.
up was with the wonky theme song, but I must have been hearing things last space.
Hey, man. It's a busy time in my life. I got 99 problems, and bitches are all of them.
You've already been contracted. The Wonky Stonk has already been deployed. You just have to fulfill your agreement.
He's pulling the Elon on us. Send one, get nothing back.
I was under no contractual obligation here. Kyle just very, very nicely offered me one. This was even before the subject came up, in fact. But I'm not
To be
saying
honest,
Kyle
I
got
don't
a free
want
idea.
contract music. I want something that comes from the heart anyway, right? Like, so he either does it, it's got to be a labor of passion. It can't be something that, is forced.
Well, it's like the thing about like inspiration is kind of like pornography, and like that famous Supreme Court case with Justice Potter Stewart when he was asked to like describe what his test for obscenity was, and he was like, I don't know, but I know it, or like I know it when I see it. So yeah, that shit is real for sure. But I do like write themes and stuff for a living. So like I mean there is something to be able to like being able to crank that shit out on demand. I'm gonna have more to say about that soon, but I'm not trying to spill the tea. But yeah, what's going on with y'all?
Oh, they're just completely, shitting on all of the. We've got Rooster up here shitting on half the collection.
Which half?
So
It's
The
actually
half?
more like 2/3.
Do I have one of that part of the collection? Or do I have the good third?
probably.
Fuck. Well, how do I get the good third?
Well, see, here's the deal. Like, there's this exchange called Blur or OpenSea. If you're a real classic, and you can go to it, and if that is a trait that you desire, you can then go through, select by that trait. It'll filter it out to what's available. You have a little bit of Ethereum in your wallet, and you can purchase one.
Are you suggesting that I engage in activity in, like international waters and DeFi with like the amount of glowing that I do? Is that what you're suggesting?
I know it's not on AVAX, so it may be a little
Uh,
bit difficult for you. Pythonomics is currently also another thing from today. He's writing me a tutorial on how to right-click save. He said he's going to make a YouTube video on that. So I will also have him make a follow-up video for how to operate Ethereum and Ethereum NFT exchanges for you.
can you include me like on a BCC for that? Like, is this an email list you're running Pythonomics, or is this like something he's going to send to you in the mail?
Not
Like
an
that?
email list, just requires a seed phrase.
Oh yeah, I got one of those. I'll hit you with that in the DM.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. I'm going to be rich. Wait, what?
You've seen my wallet. Like actually, like my assets are probably better off in your hands. Like I have round trip to generational wealth. Like I wouldn't say more
Sir,
times than I can count, but like enough times to like it indicating like a problem in me.
sir, my own assets are not safe in my own hands. I don't know how I would have anybody else's assets safe in my hands. I really don't know. You don't know, do you? I've run it up twice, and I've lost it all 2 times as well. So this is like my third go around at crypto. I've been in this space
This
for a
time is
long time.
different, right?
This time is different. It's got to be different.
Hey,
Can I
me too,
ask you
Python.
why?
Third cycle, baby, we make it.
Why
We don't
Yeah,
what
round trip
can I
the
ask a
entire
question?
portfolio.
Why is this time different? What has changed in your approach or philosophy to make this time different?
Absolutely nothing. It's just 3 is key, and that's how you do it.
You just let Jesus take the wheel, and the third time it's gonna knock.
No, honestly, I just, my key to generational wealth is buying at a current bag, and I'm still like minimum 43 short of where I want to be. But I got 57 Wonky Stonks, and I heard 1 stonk equals 1 generational wealth, which also equals 1 retirement.
Is
And according to my
generational wealth an
calculations,
environment?
I currently have stacked 57 retirements, which should be good for me in the next few generations.
Bro, it's looking like no chill is the make it bag. I'm just looking at this chart right now.
Yeah, I got me some no chill too now, baby. Let's go.
Yo,
let's go.
Pythonomics, were you the one that tipped me $2 million no chill last night?
I wish, but no, it was not me. I will
Who in
take
the
credit for it
world
if you
did
like.
that? Like, that's one thing that I wish they had fixed on there is that I could see older notifications to say thank you to whoever the heck did it, because somebody randomly tipped me 2 million no chill last night, which, gets me back a little bit of the no chill that I tipped out to I probably tipped out like 7 or 8, maybe 9 million no chill at the
Yeah,
very
it was a bug in the contract, Kalea. That came from my wallet.
I was gonna say I probably have to add more scope to the right click instructions that I'm giving you to show you how to look up the address on Snowtrace where you got that tip, and then put that into Arena Book to find out who sent it to you.
Python, are you cooking being able to buy keys in no chill, or is that going to be an AVAX only type deal?
I am not cooking that side of it. I don't have control over the Arena platform.
How rugged are we? From a 1 to 10.
What was the question?
I just heard 1 to 10. I didn't hear anything else there. So
I was asking how rugged we were.
Oh, we're rugged over here.
Oh, you
Everybody's
apparently a 10
rugged,
out of
man.
10, dude. Because none of us even heard what the hell you said.
I'm in another shitter. Should I jeet for 0.05 profit, Rooster?
Yeah, do it, bro. Honestly, don't care. Like, I mean, I'm still playing around in Solana shitters too. Like I said, I'm not one to fade. 100% fade anything. I pretty much the entirety of December was running up Solana shitters, but like it's lost its luster to me. It's just too many $5 traders are there left. People are buying penguins and pandas and ponky sponks now. Like it's the P thesis.
It would appear to me that the alpha is aping any token that gets added as a tipping coin in the arena with size.
Rooster, there's a cock token.
How's
over
your
there.
Psy experience been? I'm curious to hear more about that.
My Psy? That are you talking about size and
Say?
psychedelics anonymous? Oh, I
Say.
thought you were about to say psychedelics anonymous because I was going to say horrible. But SEI, it's been good. Honestly, I'm up like 40% from buying the Saiyans. And then I'm earning whatever yield on their protocols and staking for LP and stuff like that. So I'd say okay. I'd say okay.
hey, I want to quick pause and ask y'all's opinion of this. So, for the winner of the Wonky Stonk, we had a guy that apparently was in a war, was in the desert, was begging for his life during the time of the mint. I mean, one way or the other, like the guy wrote a 5-thread tweet, a 5-thread response story, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the effort. Right? Like I feel like
Wait, pin it to the top because I think I've seen this pasta before. So I just want to make sure. Just pin it to the top.
okay, if it's pasta and it's not full effort, then let me know. Because I don't think it's pasta. He said, this happened on January 2022 when we were fighting the terrorists in the desert. I ran out of bullets and my partner hardly had 2 left. So we decided to fight until death, but we got caught. We tried to negotiate the enemy, so the enemy tried to upload our video on Twitter. They opened Twitter to upload video of us being caught by the enemy. We were never begged for life. We were like bulls, live by the sword, die by the sword. We reject to kneel down. So they opened Twitter to upload our video being killed. When they opened Twitter, they saw Crypto Kaleo. They saw what Kaleo was up to. They heard first about Wonky Weekly Alpha. There was a guy asked me what Kaleo is talking about. So it was the moment when I first heard of Wonky Stonks. So I acted as if I know everything about it. The enemy now tried to negotiate with us. It was the moment of my life. So we negotiated our lives for Wonky Stonks in the desert. Since 3 is key, they asked for 6, and we said deal. It was at that moment I swept 9 Wonky Stonks. 6 to rescue us, and 3 more to remember Kaleo for saving our life when our people left us. Yeah, Wonky Stonks by LedgArt.io was my first NFT, and I bought it when my life was at stake. And you people are still fading. Remember, the free mint of September by Crypto Kaleo. Stonks are inevitable. That's my Wonky Stonk journey, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty positive that's not
No, because this is the original pasta that I saw. I didn't know you were talking about a tweet from 3 days ago. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw this exact thing a couple of days ago. But no, I don't think it's pasta either.
Like, if that's pasta and I missed that at any point, then I don't know where I was or how in the world it'd be possible. So, yeah, I don't know what that guy was on when he wrote it, but I feel like that is an award-winning reply.
He's actually in the audience right now.
Okay, well, if you just request to come up on stage, you won yourself a stonk.
Speak to claim your Wonky Stonk.
That's it. I've got to make sure you're a real person.
I can't fucking compete with that shit, man. That's wild.
Is he in the audience? I'm looking through. Okay, yeah, he is. I invited him. We'll see. Okay, he's coming up. Well, I tried. Eric, either way, I'm going to DM you. Send me that ETH address, and I'll send you your stonk. So, all right, that is done. DM'd you. You will receive a stonk. And you know what? I'm like, I kid you not. This is keeping myself accountable here. Because, again, I still have 2 redemptions from stonks for last week that need to be sent out. Unfortunately, this is not out of the ordinary for my stonk gifting. Again, they always get to where they're supposed to go. Sometimes they just take a little bit of time. I will get you your stonk today, Eric, as long as you get me that ETH address. Oh, wait, he is requesting to come up. And I don't think it's working. But, ladies and gents, with that, unfortunately, I also have to wrap up today's space. I got a lot of stuff I'm still doing with this move going on. So appreciate y'all being patient with me, getting everything set up today. Enjoyed the space, even if half of it was Rooster just trying to dunk on me. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes you need to hear people out, let them vent, let them get whatever is on their mind, and challenge perspectives. And also, you know, maybe hear what they have to say to be able to send them to therapy later on for it.
You know, it's all love, brother. I still love the ugly ass stonks in my wallet. There's a reason I bought them. Because I think I will be able to change them in the future. But we love them all. They're all rare.
All right, y'all. With that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Love you guys, and we will see y'all next week.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Y'all take care.
Stonks are inevitable. Let's go.
Have a good rest of your Friday.